when did you discover your talent? Like, when did you know that you had this talent, and how?
Okay, that's so very funny. But yeah, I love this question because nobody knows about it. And
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I'm telling about this.
Okay, so we have a scoop.
Yeah, it is a scoop. Yeah. So basically, what happened was I took my driver and I took my one of my videographer. So I took them. I had only two people on the set. So I told them, okay, let's do a small story, and you will have to cover all the areas, only one camera, and you cover all the areas, and let's see how it works. We will edit it and we will see whether I like seeing myself or I like this.
Okay.
So that's when I decided a very short story. Basically, it happens how is I'm in the car and my driver is coming, and then the car stops in the middle of the road, and the driver says, let me check what exactly it is, and he gets out of the car and he checks. I'm waiting in the car for a long time and I'm just checking what the hell is happening. And then suddenly when I go and see, my driver is not there. And then I get a call from the place where I ordered for this driver saying that, ma'am, your car is delayed because your car met with an accident. Then I'm like, what exactly is this car then? So that's where I stopped the story. When I saw that, I felt like, okay, fine. I mean, in one camera, if I can do this, I can definitely do like loads of stuff.
On a new episode of GN Talks, check out the interview with the fabulous Zenofar Fathima, a filmmaker and CEO of Zen Productions. What started out as a viral 60-second real horror shots on Instagram has now transformed into a full cinematic experience that now is streamed on the world's largest South Asian platform, reaching 190 countries. Tune in to the full interview. Good morning and welcome to a very special episode today. Today I have a fascinating filmmaker herself with us on set. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
First of all, I'm so excited to have you today with us on set and to learn more about the projects, the successful projects that you have created. But first, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
We all know who Zenofar Fathima is.
Okay.
But if I were to ask you to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself?
So basically, okay, everybody knows I'm Zenofar Fathima and I'm a filmmaker. So my journey, it started as a journalist, but you can actually, I play a lot of, I have a lot of hats. So it's one is a journalist and one is a filmmaker, one is a director and a producer. But now I have taken the main stream of, directing and producing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So as a UAE film-based maker, why did you decide to take off from the UAE itself?
Take from the UAE itself.
Yani start from the UAE.
Okay, so basically, come again with the question. I didn't.
Okay, so as a UAE-based filmmaker, what inspired you to get into the industry and start off from UAE?
So as I told you, my journey started when I was in Malaysia a few years back, and I did something called Food Addict Show, which is bringing Malaysian food from the Malaysia to the UAE.
Okay.
So we had we shoot for like nearly 2 months on the Malaysian culture, Malaysian food. Then later on, it went really good for a platform called ZTV. And after that, I thought, why don't I do some, because I make content. So I thought, why don't I make some short awareness stories into films? So maybe start with like a 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then we can see how the viewers are taking me. So that's when I decided, let me start making short awareness stories. So when I was in UAE, I started doing short films, and every month we had a very good launch with Bollywood actors. A lot of people supported me, so that's how my career started. And basically everybody has issues in their life, so social awareness could actually make them watch these stories, and I do give them a solution to it. So that's when I decided, okay, let me start my journey in this. Yeah.
Amazing. So as someone that's very inspiring, and I'm sure that there are lots of people that are watching us right now.
Okay.
We do know that after success there's the success journey. But before success, there's a lot of challenges, you know, most people have to go through. What were some challenges you had to go through, and how did you overcome them to become the successful person you are today?
Okay, so there are two questions in this, okay? So the firstly, see, no work is very easy. Let it be filmmaking or even in any other industry, everything has its pros and cons. So when I started, of course, no one will want to take you seriously because it's a very natural thing for human being to put everybody down. So that's what I faced first. So for me, the concept is very simple. When 10 people are saying, out of 10 people, if 9 people are telling me like, oh, she's useless, it's waste and everything, but that one person tells me go ahead for it, I will stick to that one person and I would walk, you know, further down. So that's where I decided, okay, let me start, you know, going through this filmmaking. And once I started doing it, I did get a lot of appreciation. And from the Bollywood industry, I did few movies.
Okay.
So with them, and they really liked my work. So that really gave me, you know, a push. So, but yeah, people do have a lot of issues. There are no supporting people over here. People don't support you a lot. But there are few good people, few angels, I would call them. Like, for example, if you see, a lot of media supported me. And there's one, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure people will know her, Sheikha Hind Al-Qasmi.
Okay.
So she was a very good friend of mine, and she is a very good friend of mine. And she always, even till date, she is something where I admire her a lot because she supported me a lot. And yes, there were a lot of people in the industry who did support me. But yeah, but anyways, I'm here today.
Amazing. And we actually love all of the content that you have actually created.
Okay.
So you initially started off with a 60-second reel, 1-minute reel, and then eventually you grew into making these films. Share more about the story behind one of the films that you would like to highlight today
So
on the show.
basically, it was, I didn't start with the 1 minute. I started with like about 3-4 minutes of a short film.
Okay.
So basically, it's more of the social awareness stories. I was only doing that. And then later on, I decided, okay, let's do some stories which are bigger, because people wanted to know more. What is going to happen after that? Because they really didn't like the idea of why am I cutting it down and putting the people on suspense?
Okay.
So why don't I dive into more, the more filming? So that's when I decided, okay, let me start making something called, it's an escape room series, which is called Spectre Blackout.
Okay.
And it was there in Z5 Middle East,
Wow.
Z5 Middle East platform. So
Okay.
where it was an episode of season 1 with 4 episodes, and season 2 is in the making. So when season 2 was in the making, because everything doesn't happen for us, you know, within a second, because it has a lot, it's a big production, and we need permits, we need, the story should be sanctioned by the government entities, you know, so many things are there. So that's when I decided, okay, let's put it aside and we will work through it, but something has to be consistent on my Insta story. So that's when my daughter Afra Farhana, she's saying there are people who are doing like with normal cameras, normal phone cameras, they're doing some small stories, which is like day-to-day basis, which is like scary and everything. And I watch this every day. So I'm like, okay, you're watching this every day. So do you like it? So she was like my, what do you call, like a model. In the sense I wanted to implement and see to her what she thinks about my idea.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let's do something. Let's not do in phone cameras. We will do a 1-minute reel, which is called Reel Files.
Okay, yes.
And that will dive into genres which are thriller, which is what I'm known for. So let's work on that and keep a story like an edge of the seat for the people. And let's put it on the Instagram. And let's see what do we get from our viewers and from our fans. But it'll be on a very high production scale. It'll not be like on a phone camera or something.
Okay.
We will have a big team. We will invest in that and we'll do it. So that was the number one. Number 2 was, okay, fine. And who can actually carry out? Because I am doing the content and I will know how exactly I can be on the camera. So I decided, okay, you direct it, my daughter, and I will play the story.
Amazing.
So when we did that and we put it on the story, imagine we had a Real Files Instagram story. We had a lot of followers in that.
Amazing.
People loved it. And then I thought, okay, I think this has to be consistent where we can do it like every week. So people are waiting for it. Like, what is she going to do today? What is she
Okay.
going to do next week? So we were very consistent. So that's how Real Files came out. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing this story. So, having worn multiple hats, you also acted as well.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be, sometimes behind the camera, on camera? Which one do you prefer more?
I think I prefer off the camera.
Off the camera.
Because the thing is, in that way, I can concentrate on the full production value. Of course, we have a very talented DOPs and everything, but I think the director is the one who actually takes care of everything. And since I'm the producer, so it goes hand in hand. So where Afra Farhana, my daughter, where she falls is she directs when I am in the camera. And then I decided, okay, let me not, when it was picking it up, then I decided, let's introduce more actors.
Okay.
So we got more actors to be on the stories. And who knows, maybe sometime you also might be there once.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. Coming back to asking you again, if you were to cast someone for a role,
Okay.
what are some of the characteristics you would look for in this person? Would you be like, okay, this person would play the villain, this person would play, let's say, the bad guy or the good girl, or how would you base?
I think it's more of how do you make a story? Like, for
Okay.
example, if my story has somebody who is very, a strong character, I will look into someone whose face looks very strong. Because sometimes what happens is your face talks a lot, your eyes talk a lot.
True.
And the way how you communicate. I mean, if you see the dialogues, it is just written as dialogues. But when you speak in front of the camera, you need the pause. You need your face and the words which you're talking should gel well together. So I would look into that. I would speak to the concerned person whom I feel that is going to be fit for the role. And I will know that, okay, whether she or he can do it. And I would definitely tune as well.
Okay.
Because tuning is very important, because sometimes what happens is the guy can act very good when he's doing it in his own camera. But when he comes in front of a set where there are lights
get
and,
nervous.
so many people are standing. So it's not very easy. Sometimes even I also black out.
Okay.
So it does happen. I mean, because we are all humans. So yeah, so those are the things which I take into account. Yeah.
Amazing. Who from the Bollywood stars was it you enjoyed working with them on set?
To be very honest, I enjoyed working with Mukul Dev.
Okay.
But he's no more now. It's pretty very shocking, because he just expired like about 2-3 weeks before.
Oh.
So so his brother is Rahul Dev, and he is also a very good actor, and he has supported me in loads of things. Even when we have a discussion, he will advise me, Zen, why don't we do this way? Why don't we do that? So these are some kind of amazing actors in my life. But Mukul Dev was really good, because we used to have fun even behind the sets. It's like he's so funny and he's so nice. So that's the reason, because season 2, right now there is something which we're going to do, Kaze the Wind.
Okay.
So it was Rahul Dev to be there. He plays as a filmmaker in that.
Okay.
So that's a bit delayed because of all these things. So we're just waiting for the right time where I can call him. Yeah, but Mukul Dev was an amazing actor to act with. He was a very nice friend, and he's really good. Yeah.
Amazing. Would you ever consider also expanding to Hollywood and maybe having a Hollywood actor?
I would
actress
love
with you?
to, but yes, that all is going to take time. But then you never know where, anything can happen in any time, So if you wish for it from your heart, but I don't mind. Yes, I would really love to. Yeah.
Would you ever have a story or a film made on like an Arab woman that falls in love, let's say, with an Indian man?
That is what?
An Arab woman that falls in love with an Indian man, and then the story starts from there. Have you ever considered maybe entering into the Arab market?
I think there are few different like 2-3 Arabs who are doing one of the stories in one of my Kaze the Wind.
Okay.
So basically it's a story which we are going to work on Real Files itself. It's going to come under the banner of Real Files.
Okay.
But it's going to go on an OTT platform in a bigger scale.
Okay.
So it's about a story which is being passed through the wind from one person to another, and how that story is affecting everybody's life. And to be
Okay.
very honest, it's a true story. It has affected
Oh,
me a lot this whole
okay.
2 months when we've been discussing about it. There's some negative energy which is stopping us from doing it, but
Okay.
we're still going ahead with that. So it is disturbing as well, because when you know that this thing has happened to you,
Okay.
so and you are going to do that story, it's kind of fun,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's kind of scary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, which of the films was the one which really touched your heart the most?
Uh, so there is one story in Real Files which I did, which I was in. I was acting. So it's I don't remember the name. I think Patience is Virtue. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, what happens in that is. It's a lady who is actually very young.
Okay.
And she, through her astrologer, she knows that she's going to get very rich after 15 years.
Okay.
And then she says, like, why the hell do I have to wait after 15 years? I'm going to be old. I'm looking young. I want to do so many things. So what she does, she goes to the dark web and she purchases a time machine.
Okay.
Okay, a simple time machine where she goes into it and she gets back after 15 years how she's going to look. So she gets the money by that time. And when she wants to go back to her younger days, she can't go back.
Wow.
So that means she was so greedy enough. So that really touches, and that also has a social awareness, saying that people, whatever is destined for your that time, you wait for it. You don't prepone it, because you don't play with nature.
100%.
So that is something which I really liked, and I believe in that, because I believe in something which is destined after 10 years, and if you want to try to get it before the timing, I think the nature doesn't give you, it doesn't support you.
100%. This typical question that is always asked, but
Okay.
where does Zenofar Fatima see herself after a few years? Do you
Okay.
still see yourself as a
For me,
filmmaker?
for me, I've been always a filmmaker. I would actually work on being a very good director, because every time you do movies, you feel that, okay, you could have done better. So I think I would love to be a director and a producer. So that's where I see myself. But yes, again, like the situations, whatever is happening here and there, we have to be tuned. I'm not very picky, but I'm hoping that I can be in that position after next 10 years or whatever. But then, yeah, so I'm praying for that.
Amazing. So one thing that the audience doesn't know, they see the film and they be like, oh, it's such a beautiful film, regardless of the time that it takes, but they don't take into consideration the hours, the sleepless nights,
Yes.
the efforts that
Yeah.
the team do
Yeah.
to create this
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
film. So how do you prepare yourself on those long nights, long working hours?
So basically, how we do is we prepare a day, because see, here not everybody is a full-time actor, because that's not going to fetch you a lot of money, because if you see the high standard of living everybody has over here, so they have a different job to do. So we pick up a day like a Saturday, Sunday, and then we have my team to do the art direction. Because for example, even if you see this room, I can change this room to a horror place.
Okay.
But it's not looking horror
Yeah.
the way. But yes, if I want to do something horror, I can tell my team to change this. So we work on it. We have about a 3 to 4 weeks time to do all these things. So yes, so that it's actually a lot of job what the others do. They need, especially my team, and then we have the actors. They need to prepare themselves. Then their costumes or whatever we have, and then lighting is a very important. It's an important element in
course.
Movies or any other video things. Even
100%.
here, if the lighting is
Yeah.
not okay, then we're not going to look great. So yeah, that what happens is on the day that we will know that whether it's okay or not, because that's a very challenging. Because sometimes when we think that this light is going to look good for this situation, sometimes it doesn't. So at
Okay.
that time, we need to change a little bit. We have a little bit of twist and turns. That gives us, like, if I have to finish the shoot in 8 hours, I will give time for 10 hours, because I know that
Okay.
2 hours I'm going to, have some issues. Though I don't have, but I will keep. Yes, I will have some issues. So I
Okay.
will plan accordingly.
Amazing. The question is, I'm sure that the audience that's watching us now and the listeners want to ask you.
Okay.
When did you discover your talent?
Which one?
When did you discover your talent? Like, when did you know that you had this talent, and how?
Okay, that's so very funny. But yeah, I love this question because nobody knows about it. And
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I'm telling about this.
Okay, so we have a scoop.
Yeah, this is a scoop. Yeah. So basically what happened was I took my driver and I took my one of my videographer. So I took them. I had only 2 people on the set. So I told them, okay, let's do a small story and you will have to cover all the areas, only one camera and you cover all the areas, and let's see how it works. We will edit it and we will see whether I like seeing myself or I like this.
Okay.
So that's when I decided a very short story. Basically, it happens how is I'm in the car and my driver is coming, and then the car stops in the middle of the road. And the driver says, let me check what exactly it is. And he gets out of the car and he checks. I'm waiting in the car for a long time and I'm just checking what the hell is happening. And then suddenly when I go and see, my driver is not there. And then I get a call from the place where I ordered for this driver saying that, ma'am, your car is delayed because your car met with an accident. Then I'm like, what exactly is this car then? So that's where I stopped the story. When I saw that, I felt like, okay, fine. I mean, in one camera, if I can do this, I can definitely do like loads of stuff. And before that, I was working as a journalist and I was doing a lot of stories for a TV station before.
Okay.
So I had all the elements in me and I thought, okay, fine. You have the elements, let's go for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you're such a successful
Thank you.
person, because not only do you wear many hats, but in every hat that you had worn, you had shown success and you had sparked in the industry a light. I have a question.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to the young filmmakers that want to enter the industry, to them?
Okay, I would say that see, in everything you're going to have some problems or some failures, but I would say that failure is not an opposite of success. It is actually a part of your success, and you can only taste your success if you've failed. And failing doesn't mean that you're not good. Go for it if you dream about it, and if you know that the spark is there in you. So go for it, try it, and become successful. But at the same time, you believe in yourself, what you're doing. It's not that if you can identify yourself, because you're the best judge to judge yourself, no one else. So I think the filmmakers, if you have that spark in you, then go for it.
Amazing, amazing. So what can we expect? What's coming up new? Anything new coming up in terms of movies, films? What's the audience gonna expect to see in the future films that you will be creating?
So I have actually started with the thriller zone right now.
Okay.
And I believe that the edge of the seat doesn't have to be thriller all the time.
Okay.
It can also be, an emotional, or it can be, related to love, emotional, mother and father and daughter, those kind of stuff. So I am, I'm exploring this.
Okay.
And people will have a chance to see all these kind of genres in the edge of the seat. In Real Files, of course. Yeah.
Amazing. So we spoke a lot about Real Files, but I want to ask you about Route 666.
Okay.
So if you can give us just like a recap about what is it really about?
Okay, so Route 666 is actually, it's a highway,
Okay.
where you have a dark story in a highway. So that's why I've put a Route 666, because in that story, the actor who comes to pick me up, his name is Nasir Khan, and he's also a Bollywood actor.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so he's also a very nice guy to work with, and
Okay.
inshallah we'll be working with him more in Real Files and Kaze the Wind and other episodes. So it was actually, it's like a devil's highway road where dark story can happen for you. So in that, a dark story that happened to me is that he gives me a lift, and then when I see my iPad, he's already dead
Oh,
few years before.
okay.
And then I'm like shocked. So that route, he keeps picking up people.
Wow.
And this is what happened. So that is about Route 66, which actually looks very spooky. So that's the
It
reason
does.
that's special about Route 66.
Amazing. After Route 66, will we ever see you create something like just purely romantic? Just like a romance story, like a
I don't
only romance?
Romance, I don't
Romantic
know.
drama.
Okay, yeah, there is, I forgot to tell you, there is something called South Meets North.
Okay.
It's a funny drama where basically the South Indians and the North Indians, they meet together.
Okay.
And how, you know, by time that South Indian or the North Indian, they both fall in love. So that is one of the story which we are doing, but it's a very funny genre. It's completely different. But yeah, but that also was very good because that also played in OTT platforms. So yeah, we are working on that as well. There's so many projects if you like.
Amazing, yeah. And we're so excited to see all of the projects that you create. So why do you always, we see a lot of your films, it's always related to thriller, horror, action, but we also want to see romance, drama. So can we expect any new release maybe coming soon?
So what I will do is I will definitely do a romance of Real Files that'll be dedicated to you.
I would love to watch it. I think I'm a hopeless romantic, and I think all of the ladies that are watching us right now are agreeing the same. It was such a pleasure to meet you today, to get to know you more in person and to understand the secret behind all of the success that you have created so far. Is there any final message that you would like to share with our audience today?
I think everything you have asked, and I think you've got a complete picture about what I am and everything. And I think I would just tell them that, forget about negativity, focus on positivity. Even if you feel negative vibes, I don't think so that should come in your path. You should just go for it. So I think that's what I would share with everyone. And it was a pleasure meeting you too.
Same here as well. Stay beautiful inside out. And we look forward to definitely seeing your upcoming films.
Yeah.
And for our audience, stay tuned to another upcoming episode with another successful entrepreneur. Bye-bye.